If you're in your 40s and beyond and you feel like you're financially behind, please hear me out, okay? Now, I'm going to preface this by letting you know up front that I am not a financial advisor, so please do not consider this financial advice. At the same time, I also want you to know that I am not some guy who is quote unquote financially ahead or who has made it in life, so to speak, right? I'm just a regular guy who perhaps like you, maybe, right, feels financially behind, looking for ways to get ahead, who has now finally come across something that he believes will be the vehicle that could help him play catch up and actually catch up. Okay. Now, if you're joining me for the first time, my name is Christian. Welcome to my channel. I am Christian M, a place where I decided to document my attempted journey to financial independence, whereby we're simply trying to get to the point where we're generating enough in passive income to cover our living expenses. So if that kind of stuff is of interest to you, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you're notified every single time I release a new video. Okay? Now, being in your 40s, right, and beyond, and even, guys, girls in your 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, whatever the case might be, right? The older we get, the less time we have to be wherever we feel like we should be financially. And sadly, especially considering the times we're in, we're in a place where a lot of people feel like they're, financially behind. And even worse than feeling like they're financially behind, they don't see a solution in sight, right? And that's that's kind of how I felt for quite a while, right? Until I came across what I'm about to tell you, which would be something that I would encourage you to give a try. Okay. In fact, I shouldn't even say give a try. I would encourage you to take on. Right. I would encourage you to take on. There are 20-year-olds, teenagers, and a lot of the people in the younger generations who are making out like bandits, right? Like making ridiculous amounts of money through content creation and monetizing content, right? And selling digital products, whether it's their own products that they've created or selling other people's products as affiliates, okay? That is the place that I've literally seen people start from nothing. Okay, I've seen people start from nothing and get to. I don't even want like achieve wild success, right? And in very short periods of time. Now, that's not to say that if you decided to take this route, that would be your story as well, okay? I'm just letting you know it's something that is extremely possible, right? Extremely possible. A lot of people are doing it, and people of all ages, all backgrounds, um, you know, like it's something that's available and accessible to just about anyone, right? If you have as long as you have a phone, internet connection, or a computer and an internet connection, it's something that you can plug into and get started with, right? But the main thing though is that you're gonna have some skills which you're gonna have to learn, right? There are gonna be some skills you're gonna have to learn. This is not a get rich quick thing. It's something that you're actually gonna have to work at, right? However, if you are, it's one of the few things that you can do alongside whatever you are doing already, right? So if you're feeling stuck at a 9 to 5 job that you're not particularly happy with, one thing that you can do is to start learning about promoting digital products online. Okay, and in conjunction with that, content creation, right? Content creation, it's extremely low barrier to entry, okay? Because just like I'm doing right now, right? Anybody can flip out a phone, start recording. This right here, as simple and as basic as it is, I didn't realize it, but it's content, right? You know, gone are the days where everything had to be like a big, massive production, right? Fancy cameras, effects, and all that type of stuff. People still do it. Don't get me wrong. People still absolutely do that, and as a matter of fact, a lot of that content does extremely well, possibly even better than like the most basic stuff. But what I'm doing right here is this can suffice. Okay, this can suffice, especially if you're one of those that has like a really interesting personality, or interesting stuff that you have going on with your life, right? um, I've never felt like I was that person, right? I've always felt like, in fact, I wish I had started doing this stuff years ago, right? For the longest time, I was never encouraged. Like, I just thought like I didn't have much to offer. But all of us have something to offer. Okay, whatever it is that you do in your life, whatever it is, your hobbies, your interests, and all that, you're not the only one. There are other people who are interested in that stuff that you're doing, or interested in getting started with that stuff that you're doing. And if you share that, that's content for you right there. If you share that there are people who are going to gravitate towards you, and they are going to be interested in, in following you, following you. That's, you build a following. I know that's been a main thing that has been a barrier to entry, or at least people feel that that's a major barrier to entry to, because they feel like you have to have followers in order to see any kind of success, right? While that may be true, right, it's not something that should stop you. Like, all the people that you see with big followings, and like who seemingly seem to be doing extremely well, right? They all started from zero, okay? And just like them, it's going to be it can be, again, depending on who you are as an individual. I've seen people just blow up out of nothing, right? Because they have maybe some really interesting personalities, or interesting lives, or a lot of interesting things to talk about. But even if you're not one of those people, right, just go ahead and get started. You will find your people, or your people will find you. There are going to be people that find you interesting some way, somehow, no matter how boring or bad you think you are. I've come to find out that for myself, right? I'm speaking from experience, because I've never thought of myself as any kind of interesting personality, but I do come across, I do have people that, like, even, I mean, this channel you're watching right now, all right? If you're watching on YouTube, right? Depending on where you're watching, but if you are watching on YouTube, and I say that because I'm trying to start cross promoting across different social media platforms now. But if you're watching on YouTube now, you can see that I have a tiny number. I've got a small number of subscribers, right? I have people that have actually subscribed to my channel, right? And hopefully that number is only going to continue growing as long as I continue to um, you know, provide content, right? That hopefully is of value, right? So that's something anyone can start. And in case you're wondering, yes, okay, you got to create content and whatever. Okay, then what? Well, that's the part that you're gonna have to learn. Like I mentioned, there are skills. There are skills that you're gonna have to pick up. You're gonna have to learn, right? But these are all things that you can do alongside what you're currently doing. All right, and this by far at least in my, I shouldn't say in my opinion, at least from my experience, right, is one of the quickest ways to start building some extra income, right? Again, that is not to say that it's a get rich quick thing, right? It's going to take a little bit of time, but it doesn't have to take as much time, right? Like it's the sort of thing I can, people always want to know like how long is it going to take, right? It's the sort of thing that I would say if you give it some real consistent, honest effort for 6 months at the bare minimum, right? 6 months to a year, constantly improving and constantly creating content and constantly doing all the things that you would need to do in order to start generating an income, you can see some degree of success. And with the ultimate goal being able to leave whatever it is you're doing right now, if it's not something you like. But if you like what you're doing right now but just feel like you're a little bit financially behind and need to play catch up and start generating some extra income that you can save, or just not only save, I would encourage you to invest. Then starting to promote and starting to learn digital marketing skills that you can use to sell digital products is probably is a viable way, right? It's a viable way to go. Having said that, if you do want to get started learning how to monetize content that you create, I would highly encourage you to check out the first link in the description below this video if you're watching on YouTube, or just check out the link that I'll have probably pinned in the comments section, depending on whatever platform you're watching. Check those out. Check the link out. And see what opportunity lies ahead for you when it comes to selling, whether it's creating digital products of your own and selling, right? Or if you don't want to go through that process, or you feel like you don't have the knowledge that you need to create your own, or you just don't want to be bothered doing that, you can do it that way, or you can sell other people's products, right? Digital products that they've already created, so they deal with the customer service, the delivery and all that, and you don't have to deal with any of the headache. That's called affiliate marketing, okay? But either way, it's something that you should strongly, I would encourage you to check out, right? It's something that I've gotten started with, and I'm seeing some success with it. So and you can see I'm not like that. I'm not the most interesting person in the world, or at least I don't think so. Maybe there are others that do, but it's something that just about anyone can get started with. Just learn. That's the most important thing. Understand that you're going to have to learn some skills, whether it's communication skills. That's a given, right? Because if you're going to be on camera talking, and by the way, there are ways to do this without having to be on camera either. Okay, you don't have to be on camera if you don't want to. And you don't have to talk to anyone. You don't have to talk on camera if you don't want to. There's ways to do it without it. But these are all skills you're going to have to learn, right? Putting funnels together and all that type of stuff, or whatever it is. But anyway, first link in the description below this video, or it's going to be a link pinned in the comments, right? Check that out. And if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions that you'd like to share with me or ask me, put them in the comment section below. All right. Thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch, and I will catch you in my next video. Ciao.